Hello and welcome to Fandom Forward Live. I don't know if that's actually what we call these things. That's not what this is called. This is called Protect the Waters, Protect the Mermaids, Electric Boogaloo something. I am Sabrina Carton. I am the co-president of the board of directors at Fandom Forward. I'm joined today by my friend and fellow board member, Portia Patterson-Hurst. How are you doing, Portia?
I'm doing okay. I'm really excited about the new live action Little Mermaid coming out last week, and how that also is playing into our mystic hands here over at Fandom Forward, and how we talk about oceans.
Incredible. Well, today we are launching a fundraiser called Protect the Water, Protect the Mermaids. I feel like I'm doing my podcast voice because I host the Fandom Made Me podcast, Fandom Forward's first and only podcast. And yeah, I'm going to have to break out of the podcast voice. But do you know what today is, June 1st, Portia?
No, I
Don't
don't.
answer the real question. Okay, good. It is Dinosaur Day, Stand for Children Day, Wear a Dress Day, Don't Give Up the Ship Day, and Flip a Coin Day. Now, I'm going to flip this coin, and I'm going to say heads, trans rights, tails, trans rights. Here we go. And I dropped it behind me, but it does say heads, trans rights. And why are we saying trans rights? That's right, because it is Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, Portia.
Happy Pride Month, and happy Pride Month to everyone out there.
Yes, hello to all of you people out there who are tuning in for our live stream tonight. On Earth Day, a couple of months ago, Fandom Forward launched Protect Ariel's Home, which is an environmental justice campaign inspired by the release of the live-action Disney Little Mermaid movie. So many of the beloved Disney characters that many of us grew up with, Ariel, Moana, Tiana, Lilo, and countless others, they live near the water. The water is their livelihood. They have a connection to it. And if they were in the real world, their homes would be in danger. And that's not so dissimilar from the experiences of communities all around the world who lack clean and safe drinking water, particularly BIPOC communities. And so this campaign has two purposes tonight, and I'll get into them a little bit more, but one of them has to do with water and the other has to do with trans rights. If you're wondering why I was talking about trans rights and why we're going to keep talking about trans rights, I don't think we'll ever stop. But if people are interested in learning more about protecting access to clean water, you can start by visiting us at fandomforward.org/protectariel. At that page, you can download our toolkit and be sure to visit Ariel's Action Grotto, where you can take action to preserve Indigenous and BIPOC water rights and learn more about climate change. And to get back to trans rights again and gay rights, all of the rights. To celebrate Pride Month, we also wanted to raise money for one of the causes near and dear to our hearts, protecting trans youth. This is much more serious. At a time when anti-trans legislation and rhetoric are becoming more and more common in places like the US and the UK, we're empowering fans to make a difference and support trans youth this Pride Month. 50% of the proceeds from this fundraiser will go to an organization called Mermaids UK. Mermaids UK is a UK-based organization that supports trans youth in the UK. That's a lot of saying the UK, but we will hear from them in a little bit. The rest of the proceeds for this campaign will support Fandom Forward and our work in training activists, particularly training them to protect clean water access for BIPOC communities during the Protect Ariel's Home campaign. So as always, whether you can give $1 or $1 million, in which case, who are you? No matter what you can give, we really, really appreciate it. And we would love to hear from you in the comments if you have any questions. I'm going to kick it over to Portia, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the fundraiser and the logistics for tonight.
Thanks, Sabrina. And Also, if you are a secret person who has $1 million to donate, you can be anonymous. We will not say anything to anyone. You will take it. No questions. So coming up, we have some really awesome guests, including someone who's going to be performing music live for us. That means that we have people coming from representative from Mermaids US, UK. Wow, putting so many things into this. Laser.
I said UK like 5 times.
You really did in my mind. American. Laser the Boy, a trans musician, will be our performer. Will be performing and is a musician, performer, and author. And then we will be hearing from Vanessa Kelly, who is a beloved fan artist and author as well. We also will want you, we'll prompt you to fundraise to donate to the fundraiser using the link bit.ly/ protect the mermaids. Our goal is to have 100 people donate to this campaign, and it's going to be running for a while, so we really would love for you to make sure that we get that perk to the 100 people donation. And that means that people who donate will be able to receive perks. We can only have up to 7 perks at a time, but we have much more than that. So make sure you check back throughout the month to see what the perks are and what you get when you donate to this campaign. So how long does this campaign actually last? How long can you donate? You can donate from now until June 30th. So please make sure that you are jumping on to this and grabbing what you can. Let's talk about what a couple of those perks look like right now.
Do you have any dingle hoppers? Are we going to see any dingle hoppers in the perks? Because I would like one. I've never seen one before.
Well, we do have at the $5 tier, we have a cross stitch pattern and a colored book page full of dingle hoppers, thingamabobs, and various fishy friends. So if you are fine with a draw, something you can color in as a dingle hopper, then we've got your back. At the $15 donation marker, we can send you 15 digital art pieces from 4 of our favorite artists, including Karen Hallian, Risa Rodil, and a creator of the little trash raid, yeah. And also the artist we're hearing from tonight, Vanessa Kelly. So you're going to be introduced to them, and you're also going to get an idea of what you'll see as a perk, perhaps. And when we talk to Vanessa later today.
Very exciting.
Yes. And I guess you may want to know what is a big donation get? What is a big donation perk we have? And at the $40 donation marker, we have a Little Mermaid retelling that is signed by the author Louise O'Neill. The book is called The Surface Breaks, and it's inspired by the Han Christian Andersen Little Mermaid tale, but reimagined through a feminist lens. Please note, even though it is a $40 donation, there are only 2 of those books available. So if you want to cash in on that perk, you might want to do that right now. But there's so many perks that are available there, so make sure you take a moment. And you can do it in this live stream. We're fine with that. And look at bit.ly / protect the mermaids and see what you can do.
Amazing. I am doing that right now because I realized I haven't yet made my donation. But
Same boat.
Amazing dingle hopper, right? I'm going to find a way to maybe I will donate the $1 million, which I do not have. I'm going to go into debt.
Let's not do all that though. Not necessary, but I feel like Ariel would see a single dingle hopper and wear that as $1 million anyway. So anything that you can give us, we're down for it. I will also note on that note of $1 million dingle hoppers, because we don't have that as a thing listed there. If you do donate a custom amount, that won't be tied to any specific perk. You'll just be donating for all the feel goods that you're going to get from that, all the endorphins, all of that will come from that. So I will note that maybe you want to do $1 million and then come back and do 40 and get the book signed. I don't know, just throwing it out there.
That makes sense.
Okay. So, as for this live stream, please make sure you use the chat. We see people, we can shout out. I see Delia, who is a someone who works with Fandom Forward in the chat. I see a lot of people who are saying happy Pride Month. Very, very excited to celebrate with you all. We will be like popping up different people that we see in the chat and just like interacting. So please make sure that you like interact with it as much as possible. We will be shouting you out. We also have closed captioning turned on. So make sure if you want to see the closed captioning, that you hit the CC button on your screen so that you can get all the lovely words and audio and visual as much as possible. And now we're going to hear from Mermaids in a pre-recorded interview with our campaigns director, Sarah Mortensen.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this first day of Pride Month. We are so excited to be hosting this live stream tonight. And I am Sarah. I'm our campaigns director at Fandom Forward, and I have the pleasure of speaking with someone from Mermaids who we are supporting with our fundraiser. So I'm going to bring them on now, and we're going to chat.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you start by introducing yourself for our audience?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name's Alana, and I am the Corporate Partnerships Manager at Mermaids.
Yes, wonderful. We are so excited to be working with Mermaids. So can you start out with telling us, a little bit about the organization? What does Mermaids do, and when and why were you founded?
So we do lots and lots and lots for the gender diverse community in the UK, and it means quite a lot to me as a non-binary person. We were set up in 1995 by a group of parents in gender clinic waiting rooms, which is what we had at the time, looking to create some kind of support group for their young people because they didn't really have anyone. And over the past few years, we have increased in size to become a nationwide charity. We have many, many services like our helpline and things that we will get into in a bit. But yeah, everything we do is for gender diverse young people and their families, parents, caregivers in the UK.
That's awesome. I love that it was started, it sounds like, just with parents talking to each other and like needing some extra support. That's awesome. And why, I'm very curious. Obviously, we love the name Mermaids, especially with the campaign we're running. But why was that chosen as the name for the organization?
So not many people know this because not everyone always asks the question, but it was actually chosen by those kids that were at the very beginning of Mermaids, who were the kids of the parents that set it up. It was just something they were super obsessed with at the time. They all loved mermaids. So the parents thought, what better name than Mermaids? So it was really created by the kids for kids. I think that's just such a fun story.
I love that. That just like warms my heart that that it was just what they wanted. And I think it's such a cool, like, unique name and helps your organization like stand out, in my opinion. We've been wanting to work with Mermaids for a long time. As soon as we became aware of your organization, and we were so happy when we reached out about raising a bit of money for you that you all were interested. But what made you, you all decide to partner with Fandom Forward on this fundraiser?
There were quite a few things, really. I mean, first of all, the email was really exciting because it sounded like the kind of opportunity we would be perfect for. Reading about the campaign, seeing how it's all like mermaid themed. I mean, who's more mermaids?
Yeah, exactly.
It also seemed like a great opportunity to try and spread the word of what we do and how we work to more people around the world. And on top of that as well, when we had a meeting, our personalities just clicked, I think, because I'm also like a big nerd and I'm part of so many fandoms, and I was like, oh, this is too perfect.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in that meeting we spent a good few minutes just talking about our flag means death. So
maybe more than a few minutes.
More than a few minutes, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. We felt the exact same way. So obviously, today, during this live stream, we are launching our fundraiser, which we're calling Protect the Water, Protect the Mermaids. And we are already sharing the link in the chat to that fundraising page. But I wanted to ask, just so everyone, who's watching knows, when they donate to this fundraiser, where I should explain a little bit, 50% of the proceeds will go to Mermaids and 50% will go to Fandom Forward in our work to help train activists. But when they donate to Mermaids, what are they allowing you all to do? What are they supporting? You can talk about the people or the services that you all provide, just so that they know, where their money is going.
So they're supporting a lot of various support services that we offer. One of our main ones, as I mentioned earlier, is our helpline. So this is open as much as we can possibly have it. It's open on weekends, open till 9 p.m. on the weekdays. And this is for anyone to call who is gender diverse themselves, or maybe has like a gender diverse young person, needs some support, needs to ask questions. Even if they're in a crisis, they can give us a call and we will be here for them. And to give you an idea of how much that has grown, in 2019 we had around 9,000 contacts to that helpline, and then the year after it was over 45,000. So as you can see, we are needed more than ever by our community, but we do a lot more than that as well. We have secure online forums, one for young people and one for parents, so they can create an online support community if they're not able to do that in person. We also do family days. So these are whole days for the family that are just full of fun, trans joy, really, for the kids. I mean, it's the one place they get to be themselves, where they are understood by everyone around them and don't feel like they are the odd one out, and they are such a magical experience to see. We also do a lot of research and offer legal support, like our name change clinic, and we do a lot of campaigning and advocacy for trans rights in the UK. And then on top of that, we also do a lot of training and educating with both private and public organizations.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. So really a whole range of things, from like it seems like, individual kind of like the family support, or those days that you were talking about, the family days, but also like policy level. So when people are donating, they're really helping to support like trans and gender diverse folks on a whole range of issues.
Yeah, they're helping to support them right now with these services, and also in the future while we try and build a better one for the young people.
Yeah, that's awesome. I kind of want to go back to what you said a little bit about how much the number of calls to the helpline, or the number of contacts, have increased. And I know, in the US here, we're experiencing a lot of anti-trans legislation going through different states, very unfortunately, and we're wanting to do a lot of work to support our trans folks and our trans youth specifically. But so people know a little bit about, what's happening in the UK and why those increases in help needed, might be happening. Why is it so important for people to be supporting trans youth right now, especially in the UK?
Supporting trans youth right now in the UK is so important because of the current situation that we're in. I know that things are pretty, as you said, bad in a lot of places in America for trans people, and it's only getting worse here as well. And I think a lot of it has to do with politics, trans people being used as kind of like a debate topic, which we are not. We are human beings that just want to live a normal, happy life the way that we want to do it, and it's not really possible at the moment. There are a few big issues that are kind of our biggest issues at the moment. One of them being medical care. So currently you have to be on a pretty long waiting list even to get your first appointment at the moment at a gender clinic on the NHS. but it feels like every time you move up a year, there's another year added to the waiting list, and currently it's around 5 to 6 years.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
just for your very first appointment.
Wow.
Then that causes even more problems. If a medical transition is what you need for you, you might be experiencing a lot of gender dysphoria, and you might need some help with your mental health. But then trying to find a mental health professional that knows anything about being gender diverse is almost impossible. And there are so many further issues in that. A lot of the time when they're talking about us in the news, it's all to do with like pronouns in bathrooms and pronouns in bathrooms. But the deeper issues are medical care, healthcare, being far more likely to experience a violent crime, become homeless, how difficult it is to find a job as a gender diverse person. We have all these other issues that I don't think a lot of people are talking about often enough.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just the fact that you said that the wait list to go to that, the first appointment at that clinic is even a year long, not let alone 5 or 6 years. I mean, that is not good to say the very least. Yeah. Okay. So definitely, when people are donating, like the supporting Mermaids, and all the work that you are doing is going to be very helpful for, all trans people in the UK, but I know you all focus on trans youth specifically. Yeah. And I know you mentioned a little bit to kind of end on a happy note here, that you get to see these moments of trans joy in your work, and at those family days you mentioned. And with it being Pride Month, we obviously want to talk about the reality and support trans folks and the queer community this month, but we also want to celebrate. So are there any moments of trans joy that you can share with us from your work over the last, just anything recent that you've experienced?
Yes, there are so many moments of trans joy here at Mermaids. I mean, I can't wait for it to be the norm for all trans people, but the family days are definitely like where it hits my heart the most. The kids will come in and they'll all be like really shy, hiding behind their parents and holding onto their hand. And at the end of the day, you'll see them running around with the other kids, telling each other how they're going to be best friends forever. And that just makes me so happy. One time I managed to get a makeup artist to come in and do a bit of like a makeup session. And I thought really only like the older kids would want to come to that, but all the kids wanted to come to it. And as you do my makeup, I was talking about my gender and my gender journey and how I went through a phase of I hate all things feminine, I hate all things pink and girly. That's obviously not me now.
Yeah.
And I talked about like my sort of like journey with makeup and stuff and self-expression and how it changed and things. And afterwards, a parent of one of the young gender diverse people come up to me and said, my kid is non-binary and seems to have rejected everything that they used to like and that they used to enjoy because it's like too feminine for them and stuff. And I was getting really worried about them. So thank you for being so vocal about you and your journey. It's made me feel like a lot better. And I was just like, honestly, don't worry about them. They are just figuring themselves out. And trust me, it takes time. So being able to have those one-on-one conversations with the parents means the world to me.
Yeah. It's just so joyful to hear, about parents being supportive as well, like with the groups that you all are working with. And I know it started from groups of parents wanting that support. But sometimes you just hear the stories about parents like rejecting their kids or stuff like that. So it's just nice to hear from you that at these family days you get to see the kids, but also the parents and all the joy that they have. So that's
we really do. We do our absolute best to support them through any questions they have, any issues they have, like if there's an issue at the school or something, getting the kid's name changed, anything like that they need, we are here for them and they are doing their absolute best. Yeah,
that's awesome to hear. Well, thank you, Alana, for joining us and for talking about Mermaids so we all know a little bit more about the work that you all are doing and where we're donating and putting our support. Is there anything else you want people to know about Mermaids? And if not, just let us know where we can follow Mermaids to support your work even further.
Of course. Well, Pride season is coming up, and Mermaids is going to be at quite a few of the Pride events all around the UK. So there will be lots of posts and stuff about that, so you can keep up with our work. And if you want to follow us, we are Mermaids Gender on Instagram. That's probably the best place to keep up to date with us. But there's also loads of information on our website. And if you want to know what's coming up next with us, you can sign up to our newsletter too.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you again so much for talking with us today and for working with Fandom Forward on this fundraiser. We are so excited to see, what kind of support we can get for Mermaids this month.
Thank you so much for involving us, Sarah. This has been so much fun. It was lovely chatting with you.
Yeah, you too. All right,
very
goodbye.
Bye.
Hello again. And thank you so much, Alana and Sarah, for joining us in conversation to talk about Mermaids UK, a very important organization based in the UK, because I keep saying that so many times. Portia, what did you do while we were not on camera?
I debated which donation I wanted to make. Do I want to sponsor a baby Kraken? Because I support menaces, like little miniature menaces. I love them so much. Or do I want to go the route of digital art? So I'm considering. I will take votes. If people have thoughts as a pollster, I will take them.
Ooh, well, I will tell you that I donated $25 to sponsor Kraken. His name is Bob, short for Barbara Streisand. He's a theater kid, and I'm very, very proud of Bob. Anyway, next up, we're going to have a wonderfully talented singer-songwriter join us for a conversation and performance. Joining us is Laser the Boy. Laser the Boy has music on Spotify, and you can follow his website or go to his website, lasertheboy.com. You may also know Laser the Boy from his band, The Double Clicks, and his trans robot musical about teaching a robot to love. Is it called Teaching a Robot to Love?
It is, yes.
Love. That's also very descriptive, and I also want to see this musical.
Amazing. Hello. Thank you so much. What a lovely event.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Of
Welcome.
course. Thank you.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
So I gave an introduction. Is there anything else you'd like to say to introduce yourself to the audience?
Oh gosh, no, I'm excited to be here helping trans youth in the UK. I hear that Mermaids is mostly a UK kind of thing, and I'm excited about the UK, just like you are.
Just the UK.
Yuck.
Why Laser? Yeah. Laser, let me ask you, why do you think it's so important for folks to support this fundraiser in particular?
Oh gosh. I think we all know the basic facts about trans youth. When they are supported, when they have supportive family members, they're much more likely to make it out of childhood. And I think a lot of us who are ourselves trans know what that support would have felt like, and what the support for an organization like that helps with visibility, helps with positive role models, and all this stuff that I wish I'd had when I was a kid, to know that being trans was okay, to know that I'd be supported, that I would have friends and family who had the training and the knowledge and the words to be able to help me through my journey. It's invaluable. It is a matter of life and death. So I'm so glad that y'all are doing this fundraiser.
Well, we're glad we're doing this too. Although I have yet to get a dingle hopper or see one in person for the first time.
I'm so
pretty
sorry.
heartbroken about it. Maybe by the end of the night I will find a dingle hopper, and that'll be my $1 million.
Have you checked various rooms in your home? Because there may be one. I don't want to spoil anything, but I would maybe take a look around.
All right. I don't know. They're pretty rare.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
Okay, so while I go look for a dingle hopper, I'd love to invite you to perform a few songs for us.
Absolutely.
So take it away, Laser.
Thank you. Well, as I mentioned, I'm a trans guy, but I like to start my set by playing a song that I wrote before I knew I was trans, because I think it's really funny that I wrote this song before I thought I was trans. It's a song called No Easy Way. It's a song by my band, The Double Clicks, and let's go ahead and do it. You've made a generous offer, and while I wish I could accept it, I'm afraid to say you've asked me on imperfect information. I'm a danger to you and others, and while I'd love to be your girlfriend, there is something you should know that introduces complications. There's no easy way to say this, but I think that I'm a vampire. My teeth are getting pointy, and I stay up late at night. I don't think that you could take it if I turn into a vampire, so you'll have to find a different date to prom. I have mixed feelings about this entire situation. Now that I know what's happening, I do feel some relief, though I hate to have to hurt you. But I know that you will thank me when my horrific and powerful transition is complete. There's no easy way to say this, but I think that I'm a zombie. I am feeling rather sluggish and getting bored with normal food. I don't think that you could take it if I turn into a zombie, so you'll have to find a different day to prom. You might think that there's a different explanation for these symptoms in a normal phenomenon. You might think that I'm getting strange ideas from the books I read or forums I post on, but those are excuses. Crazy ideas you're coming up with because you're scared this relationship is over. I can't be with you. You should be glad that you've been spared. There's no easy way to say this, but I think that I'm Cthulhu. I am longing for the ocean, and so very, very tired. I don't think that you could take it if I turned into Cthulhu, so you'll have to find a different date to prom. Please just ask an actual girl to prom. Right. I can hear your applause. Thank you so much. I'm going to play you another song now. Also a song I wrote a long time ago. One of the fun things I've been dealing with over the last couple years is that I started testosterone, which means these songs that I wrote, when I was 19, 20, I have to sing like a full octave down, which is very euphoric. And also it takes a lot of vocal training to be able to keep your voice. But I recommend it. This is a song I wrote about dealing with bad days and how I get through it. Oh, by the way, hi Tedwin, a fellow vampire trans guy I absolutely love. We're all secretly vampires. When I wake up on the wrong side of the planet, and the creamer for my coffee has gone bad, and the people on the street should really can it, 'cause I don't think they would like me when I'm mad. Down at the bottom, I have a secret trick. It's a thing to bring me up when I am low. It's simple, it is easy, and it's real quick. And it went extinct 200 million years ago. Dimetrodon, they ate sharks and were 10 feet long. Dimetrodon, it's a thought that I can count on. When my darkest thoughts have got a hold on me, I close my eyes and I remember all their giant teeth to shake off all the problems I have piled on. I picture the sailback giants of Dimetrodon. If you don't know what a Dimetrodon is, it's a big prehistoric reptile-looking thing. It's kind of like an alligator with a potato chip on its back. And it's not technically a dinosaur, even though it looks like one. And that's what the song is about. I am walking in a mall or in an airport, and I'm filling up with loneliness and fear. Like I'm not really a member of this species, and I don't think I am special and just weird. When I am feeling this, one thing can make me smile. There are other folks who never quite fit in. They're kind of mammals. but they look like reptiles, and I bet that difference never bothered them. Dimetrodon, they ate sharks and were 10 feet long. Be yourself. Count on your inner strength. Find your people. Hunt the weak. Dimetrodon. 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 All right, thank you, folks. I'm gonna do another song now. So as was mentioned, I wrote a musical called Teaching a Robot to Love, which is a sci-fi musical about the trans experience, about these two lesbian college roommates who accidentally create human life when trying to program a robot. It's loosely on my own experience. And that musical is being performed in Indiana this summer when we're trying to head to New York as well. But I have another musical I've been working on. It is called A Shark Ate My Penis, A History of Boys Like Me. And this is a show about trans guys throughout history and their true stories. And this is a song from that show. It's a song that I sing in the show about coming out. And it is called Pebble. There was always a pebble. There was always a pebble in my shoe. The world rubbed me the wrong way, and I rubbed the world the wrong way too. Something knocking about when I try to walk, something blocking my throat when I try to talk. Something nagging at the edge of my eye. There was always a pebble, till I took the pebble out of my shoe. The skin was cut and bleeding, and my socks soaked right through. And suddenly walking doesn't hurt. It feels like I'm floating just above the earth. And even if every day afterwards you have to run uphill with somebody chasing you, life is still so much better without a pebble in your shoe. Thank you, friends. The song is called Pebble. It's from my musical, A Shark Ate My Penis, which you can get online tickets to for our premiere on Sunday. And I hope you'll come if you want to learn a little bit about trans history and also about yours truly. That's lasertheboy.com/shark. I hope I'll see you there. If you use the promo code SHARK, you get a free ticket so that you can save all of your money to donate right here to this incredible cause, which I'm so happy to be here for. I absolutely adore anybody who's doing work for trans kids, as it is, as I've said, so important. So I'm going to play you one more song. This is a song I wrote a few years ago when I finally started intentionally writing songs about being trans instead of writing songs that I didn't know were trans until 10 years later. This is a song called I'm Winning. And we we made a music video for this song that you can find on the Double Clicks channel, where we hired we hired a bunch of trans, non-binary animators all to do like a little section of the song. I'm so proud of it. It's very Steven Universe. It's very cute. The song is called I Am Winning. I was jumping on shells. I was falling down holes. There was a 3D open world out there, but I was stuck inside scroll. I could have been winning at checkers, but I was losing at chess until I solved the biggest puzzle and I unlocked the treasure chest, and now I'm winning. I'm winning. I am playing the right game finally. I'm winning. I'm winning. I am using the right name finally. I'm a player, not an obstacle. I am redefining possible. I have a new victory condition. There are many more than 2 ways to win, and I'm winning. I'm winning. I am playing the right game finally. I'm winning. I'm winning. I am using the right name finally. Left, right, B-A and starts. Listen to me and love with your heart. Pick up the piece and roll the dice. You can help a person have a better life. And maybe it's new, and maybe it's hard, but can't you try to care? 'Cause players like me and all my friends have always been there. I'm winning. I'm winning. I am playing the right game finally. I'm winning. I'm winning. I am using the right name finally. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. And that's my last song. Thank you so much, folks, for having me. It's an absolute honor. I'm seeing applause in the private chat, which I love.
Laser, that was amazing. The
Oh,
most
thanks so much.
amazing music about robots
Sure.
and trans people. Definitely like a common theme on Broadway.
Most people are writing about that these days. It's I think what Billie Eilish's new record is about, mostly robots and being trans, I think. We'll see. Yeah, any luck on the Dingle Hopper front, Sabrina? I'm worried about you.
Oh, I'm so close. I think that there is like a treasure map that I will follow at some point, but I have to find the treasure map first. People are like hiding clues around my house. I don't know who they are or how they got here. But anyway,
maybe if you go out on the, what's the word, street, maybe that would help.
Ooh. Yeah. Something to think about. Well, while I continue to, sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
While I continue to look for a dingle hopper, I believe Portia has something shiny.
Yeah, I believe Ariel has several thingamabobs. She has plenty. So I'm going to try to borrow one of those and see if maybe she'll also help us find a dingle hopper for you. We're going to negotiate that. But in the meantime, thank you so much, Laser the Boy. We're going to bring in
Absolutely.
a brand new person to the stream. Thank you so much. Vanessa Kelly is an artist and author. And we would love, Vanessa, if you could give us a moment where you can tell everyone about who you are and what you do.
Gosh, well, first off, thank you so much for inviting me to participate in this. This has been wonderful, and I'm like holding back tears after hearing Laser the Boy's performance. But yes, my name's Vanessa Kelly. I am a writer and illustrator, and I guess I'm probably best known at this point for fan art of the queer and BIPOC variety. And yeah, I'm just so thrilled to be here.
We're thrilled to have you. And I took a moment to peruse your Instagram and I'm really excited to hear about like your new book that I hope you can talk to us about a little bit later.
Thank you.
You are here for multiple reasons, right? Like we're very aligned in a lot of things that we're both about, but you also donated a perk to our fundraiser where people can get art. Would you mind telling us more about what you contributed?
Yeah, sure. So I donated a couple of my favorite images, concept art that I illustrated of my upcoming historical fantasy called When the Tides Held the Moon. And both images depict the main relationship of the story. There's Benny, the ironworker turned sideshow hired hand who falls in love with Coney Island's most beguiling exhibition, a merman named Rio, so named because he was stolen from the East River. So the book has just been picked up for publication, so I'm afraid I don't have more details I can share about it just yet, but in a nutshell, it's an American tale about freedom and fighting for yourself and for your found family. So it just felt like it perfectly lined up with the sort of mission that Fandom Forward has put together for the month of June.
Yeah, and that's a very good pun too, an American tale and a mermaid. So perfect. Would you tell us about like why you really felt like you wanted to support this fundraiser and cause with your artwork? Like what specifically about the work that we're doing here kind of like led you to want to donate?
Well, I have the benefit of having worked with Fandom Forward before. We did a fundraiser together last year that went really well. It was part of an auction. And then as far as, this time around, I've actually been involved in government and activism in the Washington, D.C. area for the better part of a decade. And so in a lot of ways, I've had like a front row seat to the dismantling of freedoms for marginalized groups, as well as, policy that damages indigenous peoples and the environment. So like, people who follow my artwork also know that my creativity is in large part driven by a desire to elevate these marginalized stories, to move the needle towards justice in a very visual way, because, art is immediate and it's visceral, and seeing depictions of, queer love, trans love does double duty of validating our community and also disturbing the peace of those who would erase us. So it was somewhat of a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I love that it's like you're using something that is like a art form that people can see like as insular, like you're just like creating art on your own, but you're bringing a sense of like engaging with others and talking about the things that are impacting other people and bringing it all together. I love it so much. And speaking of like engaging with other people through your art, would you tell us more about how posting your art on the internet has worked for your sense of community and how you've built community around that?
That is an excellent question. I think coming from a sort of religiously conservative background as like a Puerto Rican, posting art has been such a valuable way to surround myself with love and acceptance and support. And so I sort of see the things that I do as a symbiotic, relationship. I receive it, and so I try to, put it back out. And and for that reason, I'm so incredibly grateful to everyone who's found my artwork and shared it, as it's really opened up doors, not just professionally for me, but also personally. Like, I feel like I know myself so much better now from having been able to interact with folks who will, either in the replies or in, DMs or even on a Discord would say like, something about the depiction of these two characters that I adore really just like made me feel seen, or just I printed it out and I put it up on my wall. And it's just, it's a kind of validation and just love, right? That is unique to our community, I think.
Yeah, I love how much like online engagement has gone from this like mystified existence thing to like Fandom Forward runs on like virtual volunteering, right? So like you make friends, you engage with people, and you build your community like wherever that is. And online is not just some weird digital space. It is like where we all are able to connect and build things together.
Totally, absolutely. And
Yeah,
we're in such a weird sort of like place in history now where I guess politics is the great equalizer, right? So it's been interesting to sort of have a hand in certain industries that have the ability to either sort of balk and cower in the face of bigotry, versus like stand up against it. And I've watched everyone sort of mobilize together, especially in publishing, from readers to editors to, marketing folks, rallying around this notion of like, no, we don't want to be silenced. We're not going backwards. We can be just as loud as, if not louder than, this small group of very angry bigots,
Yeah, it's so frustrating sometimes to like notice that there is a very vocal minority. So I think that's a correct phrasing to kind of always bring it into where like it's a small group of very vocal bigots. Like I love that so much. And speaking of like not them, but of like who are of like the stories that compel us to like get engaged and do this work. And this may or may not have been engaged you to do the work. Do you have some favorite trans stories and authors that you would mind like sharing with us? And any that you've done fan art for, or worked with in any way that you would love to promote and share with us here?
Gosh, yeah. And are we including non-binary authors in that umbrella?
Yes.
Okay.
The full trans umbrella.
Okay. Well, I've really enjoyed the work of like Kason Calendar and Aiden Thomas. Graphic novelists such as Maya Kababi, who wrote Genderqueer. I've had a long-standing art relationship with Casey McQuiston, and I've been blessed to illustrate the collector's edition of Red, White, and Royal Blue. And right now I'm actually in the process of finishing up some artwork for Alexis Hall's beautiful trans historical romance, A Lady for a Duke. Oh my gosh, it's swoon worthy. It's so good. But yeah, and I've done like one-off fan arts as well for like Cemetery Boys and whatnot. So and had the sort of mind-blowing experience of being able to like hand the physical copy over to Aiden, who is just an absolute cinnamon roll. And yeah, so
Aiden seems awesome. Like I've seen Aiden in different spaces, like in different panels and stuff, and I've been like, they seem like an amazing person.
Oh, like total. So like, I don't know if you have one of these. Like I have a sort of like running list of people I admire who I just want to have over for dinner.
Yeah, or like let's meet up and like just like see where the night takes us. Like, we're gonna start at a coffee shop and see where it evolves from the coffee shop.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I want to co-recommend. Casey Calendar has this middle grade book called Moonflower, which I enjoyed immensely about
Oh,
like
that's
a
on my
trans
list.
character. It's so good, and it's like something that I wish that had been around when I was in middle grade. But I'm so happy that it's available to kids now and people of any age now. Like it was really formative, even as like an adult, to read that book for a middle grade audience. So cool. And I love that you were working on some really cool stuff with art, like with authors and with your own writing. So it just sounds like an overall cool time by you.
It's been rad.
So in a vein of supporting like trans people, trans artists, trans creators, just trans kids in general, what would you say to everyone watching to encourage them to donate to this fundraiser and like this campaign?
Gosh, well, I would probably say what I've been saying for like the past years in various sort of activism campaigns that I've participated, which is like, during these times of intense like hostility, it's tempting to adopt a perspective of helplessness and to believe, if you're not trans, that these injustices are somehow not going to affect you personally, or that there's little impact that you can make from your seat behind the computer screen. But the fact of the matter is that you can affect change, and it begins the moment you decide to care. That one decision is so simple to make. And specifically, donating to people who are the boots on the ground is an incredibly easy way to empower the movement towards justice, because these are people who are trained, qualified, experts in this field, know exactly what is going on with the policy and who is impacted. They have access to metrics. And so it really is like a simple thing to, I have spare $5, $10, $25, and hopefully, if you can donate more, give more. Because at the end of the day, these injustices have a way of making their way to all of us. And we all benefit when we uplift the most vulnerable among us. So please, please donate. Trans lives matter. Our climate matters. And we need your voice.
Snaps. And you're making me call for like a sideline hashtag of like your donation and a thingamabob. Like hopefully we like $25 and a thingamabob. Let's do it. Let's get what we can here.
For the cost of a thingamabob.
Or a jingle hopper.
Yeah.
As Sabrina continues to search for them. Help Sabrina get this jingle hopper.
Nope.
Well, thank you so much, Vanessa. Yeah. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for joining us and sharing everything with us. We are looking forward to seeing your artwork, and everyone else, if you would love to see the artwork that Vanessa previewed and description, make sure you donate the amount associated. I believe it's the $15. Yep, it is. $15 donation marker, and you too can receive the digital art I just did. What are you doing? Stop waiting for it. Just do it. And can you tell us where else people can support your work outside of this fundraiser?
Sure. Folks can follow me on Instagram and Tumblr at the handle VKellyArt. I'm also on Twitter at VScrivanoKelly. And you can always hop on to my Patreon to help support my work at VKellyArt as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I definitely look forward to seeing all of your work that comes out next. And again, thank you so much for donating to this fundraiser.
Oh, well, thank you so much for inviting me to participate and for all the amazing work you're doing.
Bye. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, Vanessa. I do have some good news for you. Wait, drum roll. Ooh, I found a dingle hopper. This thing was in my kitchen the whole time, and coincidentally, I found a slice of cheesecake as well, which is very exciting. But now I have to find something to eat the cheesecake with, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But I have my dingle hopper.
Fantastic. I am overjoyed for you.
Thank you, Portia. It just means so much to me that our friendship, we've shared this journey and we've known each other for so long, and we've been working with this amazing organization. And it's just so great that you could share in this adventure with me. Anyway, I am so excited that all of you who are watching shared this journey with us, a journey of music, of justice, of interviews, and getting really pumped for water rights and trans rights and pride. You can join us in many different ways throughout the month of June to support this campaign. Obviously, you can keep donating. We would love your money. There's nothing that would make us happier other than your friendship, but your money is good too. So you can keep donating at fandomforward.org/protectariel. You can join our book club. Fandom Forward has an amazing book club. The book of the month is The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill. And just as a reminder, we have signed copies, rare, available as a perk during the fundraiser. You can also generally donate by going to fandomforward.org/donate. And then, of course, another way you can donate is by becoming a monthly supporter on our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/fandomforward and you can learn more about our podcast, Fandom Made Me. You can listen to me host Fandom Made Me every other week on Tuesdays. Our next episode will feature a university administrator in Chicago and Latinx feminist activist on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And the episode after that, I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll give you a hint. It's a 90s movie star, and it's going to be amazing. Otherwise, you can see us on our next live stream event on June 14th. We'll be hosting our second annual Our Flag Means Queer Rights event with some very, very special guests from the Our Flag Means Death fandom. And again, the campaign URL is fandomforward.org/protectariel. Thank you so much for joining us and have a good night.
Bye, everyone.